Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tearing down all that traditional advice you hear about getting rich, and we're transforming it into a highly visual, psychological roadmap for long-term success. I mean, if you've ever felt like the standard advice just doesn't add up, well, you're definitely in the right place. We're going to expose the hidden traps that keep most people broke, and we're doing it by mapping out the exact blueprint used by self-made multimillionaires. Let's get into it.
All right, here is our agenda for today, outlining our six-part blueprint. 1. The fast cash trap. 2. Myth of the solo genius. 3. Danger of information overload. 4. The ego and the iceberg. 5. Mirrors over magnifying glasses. And finally, 6. Breaking the comfort zone.
Let's jump right into section 1, the fast cash trap, which is all about choosing skills and equity over status.
So we all face a crossroads at some point, right? Path A looks pretty amazing at first. You get a well-paid job, you stack some cash, you impress your friends, but very quickly your earning potential hits this rigid plateau. Path B, though, that's the real wealth builder. It's all about prioritizing skills and equity. Yeah, you might struggle to pay bills early on, and your parents might seriously question your life choices, but by focusing on high-income skills, think copywriting, video editing, or coding, your earning potential eventually goes completely through the roof.
Actually, our source material shares this incredible story of a creator who left school at just 16 with absolutely zero qualifications. Faced with multiple job offers, they didn't just chase the biggest paycheck. Instead, they chose to become a carpenter's apprentice. The pay was awful, and the manager was a total bully, but those skills, they became a lifelong high-value asset. It's like building a Swiss Army knife of capabilities that basically makes going broke impossible.
Now, this is where the hard data totally bursts that fake rich social media bubble. We always see those flashy Lamborghinis in Dubai or people eating $500 steaks, but the reality, it's completely different. A massive 37% of Americans cannot even afford an unexpected $400 expense. To put that in perspective, that's more than 1 in 3 people. Those flashing luxury lifestyles are often just smoke and mirrors, totally funded by credit cards. True wealth early on means buying assets, definitely not depreciating designer clothes.
Okay, moving right along to section 2, the myth of the solo genius and the true power of teams. Take Elon Musk, for example. On the surface, the guy looks like the ultimate solo genius, right? But that couldn't be further from the truth. He was part of this massive collaborative powerhouse that launched PayPal. When that sold for $1.5 billion, which is just wild, that team, famously known as the PayPal Mafia, spread out across the tech industry. They went on to build YouTube, Yelp, LinkedIn, and SpaceX. They invested in each other. They relied on incredibly talented teams. It's really the ultimate example of shared wealth. But, how do you actually leverage teamwork today if you aren't out there building a billion-dollar tech company? Well, you partner up. Specifically, you can partner with older business owners who are maybe completely lost when it comes to the internet. They desperately need help managing teams, handling invoices, and building websites. They know they can't do it alone, and that makes your younger, tech-savvy skill set incredibly valuable to them. This is where you can utilize modern, all-in-one management platforms, like Odoo, for instance, to basically drag and drop these outdated businesses right into the 21st century. By taking a terrible, clunky 10-year-old website and turning it into a sleek, modern e-commerce hub in like 30 minutes, you are solving their absolute biggest problem. And in doing so, you're turning your tech skills into serious, scalable cash. Let's hit section 3, danger of information overload and how we cure decision paralysis.
Honestly, do you ever feel like you're just being pulled in a million different directions? Every single day, we're bombarded by endless, totally conflicting advice on side hustles, fitness routines, career paths, you name it. It creates hundreds of potential pathways in your mind, and it is just entirely overwhelming.
So here is the game plan to cure that cognitive overload. You've got to follow these specific targets. First up, start with your end destination in mind and work backwards from there. Second, limit the opinions you listen to strictly to the experts. Seriously, just completely ignore the general noise. And most importantly, fully implement the advice you get from one input before you go seeking out another. You got to see it through. Because here's the thing, if you don't limit your inputs, you get mental fatigue. People might look at you and call you lazy because you aren't taking action, but the truth is an inability to act isn't a character flaw. It's decision paralysis.
Your brain is quite literally short-circuiting from trying to process way too many paths at the exact same time. All right, section 4, the ego and the iceberg. We're talking about how humility builds true wealth.
Arrogant people wouldn't even finish a learning exercise like this explainer because they already think they know it all. But true growth requires the iceberg principle. You have to accept that what you currently know is just the tiny visible tip floating above the surface. That massive chunk of crucial wealth-building knowledge, it remains hidden below, just waiting for you to be humble enough to seek it out.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. Arrogance is a silent wealth killer. When you're driven by ego, you only dream of that big picture. You're constantly looking way too far ahead, and because of that, you completely overlook the small foundational steps required for real success. You miss out on all the vital insights simply because you think you're too smart to listen to the people who have already walked the path.
Next up is section 5, mirrors over magnifying glasses. This is all about taking extreme accountability. Listen to this striking Chinese proverb. The man who blames others has a long way to go. The man who blames himself is halfway there. The man who blames no one has already arrived. Wow, that just perfectly sets the stage for understanding what the ultimate form of personal responsibility really looks like.
Every single day, you're essentially choosing between two objects, the magnifying glass or the mirror. Reaching for the magnifying glass means you are hyper-focusing on others. You're blaming the system, the government, the traffic, your boss. It's an excuse that quickly grows into a super toxic habit. But reaching for the mirror, that means taking extreme accountability. You're focusing entirely on what you can actually control, your own thoughts and your own actions. And finally, section 6, breaking the comfort zone, expanding your self-imposed prison. Here is a really shocking stat for you. Over 50% of people never leave their comfort zone. Half. They just retreat to it, seeking safety and security, basically living in a closed circle with no gaps and absolutely no way to grow. And the saddest part? Almost half of them are worried that one day they're going to deeply regret it. The only way out of that trap is to continually force expansion. Just look at the creator's timeline from our source material. Leaving school at 16 for an apprenticeship, that expanded the zone. In his 20s, experimenting with side hustles pushed that boundary even further. Then taking a massive bank loan to start a business in his 30s, traveling to China in his 40s despite the language barrier. And get this, even starting a YouTube channel at age 53 to share his knowledge. Calculated risks at every single stage of life continually unlocked new wealth. The core takeaway here is deeply empowering. You can expand your comfort zone as much as you want. The space outside your current boundary is literally infinite. But, and this is a big but, the universe isn't just going to hand it to you. You must actively claim it for yourself by pushing past your current limitations. So, knowing everything we've just uncovered in this explainer, from abandoning that fake rich lifestyle to finally dropping the magnifying glass of blame, what is going to be your very first step out of your self-imposed prison today? The blueprint is right here in your hands. Now it's time to build.